Hey, it's the Black Super Friends podcast. Welcome to the real. Hey, good evening. This is D. Horace Towns from the Black Super Friends podcast. Tonight I will serve as the host to this awesome show. Tonight I'm joined by my three best friends that you know around the world as the Black Super Friends. Tonight I will first introduce the father of Super Mario Jr., Super Mario Sr. Please say the senior.
Good night to everyone. I feel a little better. I feel a little better today, man. I'm a year older, so you know what I'm saying. I'm on my swag and I'm feeling good.
Yeah, that's right. Because we did do a Thursday show on your birthday, so I thank you for working overtime. Then I'm going to the bottom to the man that I call Chris, the phenomenal international Leo.
Man, those accolades is way too much for me, but I appreciate them every time you give it to me. Thank you for tuning in for another Monday night for Monday Night Raw, where we give it to you unprotected. And I always remember, he live forever.
All right, it is. Listen. All right. That's the guy. Listen. So next I'm going to the man that has on always the latest fashion trends. He calls him the ladies' man.
He calls him. Welcome.
All right. Well, guys, first off the bat, it is February 1st, 2021. In America, they recognize it at Black History Month, even though we're black every day. So shout out to Jeffrey Day in the comments. Yes, this will be a show. Today, in Black History Month, before we get to beginning our show, I want to recognize a giant, a queen, someone who every time we seen her, you will feel some heartwarming energy. You will feel a connection to her. She was an Academy Award winner, one-time model. She was a woman who every role that she took, she made it her own. She delivered impactful stories. She denied roles that she felt that she could deliver, but she was one of the biggest icons that African Americans could treasure in this world. At the age of 96, we lost Cicely Tyson. Again, one-time model, actor, activist. This was just someone who every time I seen her, I just felt like I was looking at an aunt, grandma. It was an energy that you can't explain. And we have to cherish the icons that we have like that and always give her a bow. I must salute Tyler Perry, who made sure that he always gives his flowers to the people like that, the artistic ones, the ones that paved the way, the eccentric gifts of the generation. So not to brag on, guys, we lost a queen, we lost a legend. And I just want to say salute to the queen. May she rest in peace, and may we recognize her legacy forever. Mario.
I just want to start by saying that was a great entry on what you said, essentially, Miss Tyson. I think that she was everybody's mom. She was everybody's grandma, and then she was everybody's example of a true, strong Black woman, the epitome of what we look at as the embodiment of just a strong Black woman. Before Michelle Obama, it was Cicely Tyson to me. And I know we know all her accolades, and we know how much she just was riveting on the TV screen and on the movie screen. But I just want to give you a couple of facts that you might not have known. One, she was the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's first cousin. They both parents came over here from West Indies, and they kept close, even though she was a devout Baptist and he was a Muslim. They still were close cousins. Two, I don't know if y'all know this, but she was married to Miles Davis. Her and Miles Davis dated, and he promised to marry her, and he did not. He married I think it's I can't think of the lady name. Her last name Davis too. He married her for like Betty Davis for 1 year. Then after that, they got divorced, and then he married Cicely for a couple years, and they just said they had a Bobby and Whitney type of relationship. And me finding out that, I was like, wow, it's crazy how we looked at Cicely as this person, but when her and Miles Davis was together, they was out here rocking and rolling. And last but not least, if you don't know, but you should already know by now, 2 days before she died, she released her book, her memoirs to her life, and it's called Just As I Am. It sold out on Amazon the next day. So when it re-up, if it hasn't already, I think everybody should go out and get that because it details so much of her life that you didn't. That I know, me being the age that I am, I had no idea how impactful and how beneficial she was to so many people over the way, and how she took so much of her money and her time and gave back to the community. So we want to salute our sister and rest in heaven.
Yes.
Well, on a previous show, I acknowledged her death. We happened to have a show on her death on the day she died. So again, I didn't know much about Cicely Tyson. The first time I was introduced to her was during the movie Roots, where she played Kunta Kinte's mother, and her mother was played by Maya Angelou, which is a big thing. But what I learned about Cicely Tyson is she was one of the first ones to pioneer the natural hair movement for Black women, and I definitely want to give her a big shout out because I think it took a lot for her to take on a role. The story, I remember exactly how the story was, but the story goes sort of like she got casted for a role. They expected her to come in with the wig on or permed and everything, and she went and she cut it off. I think she went to a barbershop that Sidney Poitier used to go to. I'm not sure, don't quote me on the name. But she cut it off, and the people happened to love it. And then she got placed in another TV show where they asked her to continue to keep the hairstyle, and then it started a movement for natural hair. So, like I said, I didn't know much about her, but again, rest in peace, Cicely Tyson.
Ladies man.
Man, definitely an iconic individual. I'm so tired of death though, man. It's so sad, you know. It's like everybody's leaving, it seems like. But excuse me. Cicely Tyson definitely was a queen. Hence one of my favorite movies that I remember her in, which is Hoodlum, which she actually played when she was a queen. So you know, that's how I'll always remember her. Mario actually took one of my fun facts. I didn't know that she was married to Miles Davis. They actually married in the 80s. So that, like you say, that slippery slope, that definitely was around that time. But it just goes to show you that everyone, in order to get where they are, they have to be a well-rounded individual. And she's been on the rough side, she's been on the upside. So she definitely was someone that could tap into all generations and impart some knowledge. So that was good. The Black History side, the Black History Month fact that I had was in 1977, she was actually inducted into the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame for her works. She was definitely a devout community activist, did a lot of work, put a lot of money into the community. And for that, you know, we thank you, Cicely Tyson, for your contribution.
Well, guys, I actually want to make sure we did recognize her. As they say, we're tired of death, man. That's one thing that's for certain. So if you've been to church, that's one thing they preach about. It's that time that we meet the dirt. And so we do know that that's a certain thing. I want to ask you guys something. But you know what? I'm changing gears. I want to make sure that we enlighten and educate. We just talked about Cicely Tyson. I want to talk about a Black History Month fact. We want to recognize the pioneers. It was Detroit, Sunday afternoon, 1975. Calvin Thompson was about to take a break before a white, shiny Cadillac pulled up and asked, "Hey, I need some gas." Calvin replied to the patron and said, "Get it your goddamn self." hence the creation of the self-serve gas station. So we want to recognize Calvin Thompson, who in his brilliance or laziness created the self-serve gas station. Before that time, you could not pump gas on your own until that day when my brother said, you got to do it yourself. Chris, creators. So you never know how stuff comes about, but that's what my brother did. So that's a real fact. Calvin Thompson, 1975, Detroit. True story.
And
Okay.
a beautiful one at that. A beautiful one at that.
Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah, it was a true story, dog. Listen, guys. Chris, you might find this to be interesting as well as I do. We just went through the era of the Me Too, and we heard about so much stuff. I'm going to attack it from a different angle, man. You have allegations that come out all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So first off, I want to say that this week I've seen all these headlines of people talking about T.I., who him and his wife were accused of sexual allegations. Then I heard of a story where the story has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. My point is not to talk about so much the allegations. My point is to talk about us as African Americans, Black people, or the culture, how we love drama. Now, we love to celebrate people, and then we love to knock them down. So when are we going to embrace the people that are fighting for us on the first line? So I don't know if the story is true or not, but the allegations came out, and the same people that claim to be such a fan are the people that share the stories, and the same people be in the comments, you know, bashing the brother, bashing the wife. Oh, the story sound like it's like, it ain't even water cooler talk because it's us destroying each other. So don't know if it's true or not. I just got some bias because of some years in the industry. I've seen a lot. But when I heard the allegations, I was like, okay, well, it's allegations. Pretty sure it'll be an investigation. We'll find out what the true story is. But that ain't what happens with us. Now, I must say, even the wrongest of people, Trump people, hey, he could do anything. They support him. I'm saying as Black people, we already have enough scrutiny. We already have enough media attacks. Damn, when do we give each other the benefit of the doubt, or at least say, hey, let's find out till the facts come out? Because I've seen so many people throwing their brother and his wife under the bus off allegations, and it kind of got to me. I might be biased because I've seen situations in the industry, and usually you'll come out and you'll find out somebody lying. There's a plot to get some money, or allegations are unfounded, right? But you'll never see the media come back and say, oh, you know, it was a lie, the story was false, etc. But by that time, you didn't already damage them. So I just think it's funny how we don't recognize the people that always go to bat for us, and I'm not going to call any names, when they start to fight or start to do something beneficial for their community, all of a sudden it come a rape case, some sexual allegations, a murder charge. It's always something that comes up, and it's like, dang, y'all don't see the agenda? Y'all don't see the agenda? So I didn't know what y'all thought about that, but I wanted to get some insight from y'all before we move into the show. I'm gonna go to Chris first.
Well, Horace, you posed the question as if it's like a black thing.
Why don't we get the benefit of a doubt? I was talking about, but my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. But that's normally a thing that goes against Black men. We suffer that a lot, especially when it comes to sexual misconduct allegations. So now here's the thing. This is the slippery slope for me, because as a father of a daughter, as a son of a mother, and a brother of a sister, I don't ever want to make it uncomfortable for women to come out to speak out against sexual misconduct. I think that victims should be heard. I think that I don't ever want to make it harder for them to come out. But at the same token, I also want people that commit sexual crimes against women. I want the punishment to be harsh. But in the same token, I want false allegations to be the punishment for that to be harsh also. Because what happens is, when you don't have a harsh punishment for false allegations, it makes it so the victim get questioned. We don't outright believe the victim, because we've seen so many times where, just like you said, allegation to come out and it may be money driven, it may be false, and nothing really happens to the accuser. So what I think is, if we make harsh punishments for false allegations, the viewing public, once they hear it, they will say, well, this lady knows that she could be persecuted for having a false allegation. So if she could be persecuted for having a false allegation, she's really risking it to come out. So we would tend to believe the victim more. I don't believe in victim shaming. I just believe that I've seen so many times where men get damaged from this. This dating back all the way to Emmett Till. That was a lie told on him, and it cost him his life. I seen the Central Park Five. Now the woman didn't accuse them, but you have the police accused them of rape, and it cost them years in prison. So I think that what I think is just like the perjury charge, there should be a harsh punishment for false allegations, because this doesn't go away. You still have to carry things like this. That's like with the Central Park Five situation. A lot of people still think that they're rapists. A lot of people still refer to them as rapists. A lot of guys are sitting in jail right now for sex crimes that they did not commit. And again, I think that we see this so much that we have to be a little more diligent on what's going to happen against false allegations. Again, I repeat, I do not want to make it tougher for women to come out. I believe that anytime a woman that suffers sexual misconduct or sexual abuse of any kind should feel free to come out and tell her story, and it should be heard. And she shouldn't be accused of lying first. But again, I do think that the punishments should be harsh for false allegations. But that's just me. Mari, what you think?
That's the beautiful thing about this show. We never really know what each other gonna say, and I guess great minds think alike. Cause that's just the alley that I was finna walk down. I think that right now in this, I heard Brandon Marshall talk about incident that he was in New York. He was in a club and somebody threw a bottle that didn't like him. Walked out the club, said he did it, and for 2 years he paid lawyers, lost endorsements, and had to go through scrutiny for the team, and ended up getting traded because of the repercussions. Then went back to court and they said, "Oh yeah, we looked at the tape, you didn't do it," and nothing happened to the lady who did it. And I know this is a different allegation, but I think that right now, if you don't have to tell your story under oath, where you can be charged with perjury or anything of the sort, then you can just come out. And the only thing I can do in defense is hit you with a defamation. But if I don't have no money, then once again, you're spending money to your lawyers just to take or to quiet me up or take from something I don't have. But then, like Chris said, it gets drug out so long through the media that people in the media are gonna pose their own opinion, and then you're gonna be guilty one way or another in their head. And then you're gonna have some companies that just don't want to touch you just because it's a 50-50 thing. And I think that's a dangerous thing right now, because not only does it hurt the person who's being accused, but it hurt women who really actually have been assaulted. It really takes it, because every time somebody come out and it said that you're a liar, that one woman lies, it sets 10 women who really did it back. Because now those 10 women come out and they be like, "Oh, she lied just like the other girl. She lied," especially if it's a famous person, because we hate to see our heroes go down in flame when we really love them. So I think this is a dangerous game that a lot of people play, and I agree with Chris 100%. It has to be accountability if you lie. If you sit up there, construct this whole story, and then with the intent to hurt and harm with no truth in it, I think you should get the same punishment if you sit on the stand, raise your hand, and lie to the court. That's what I think. What do you have for us, Zay?
I think I'm gonna agree with you guys to a degree, because I'm looking at this whole story, and it's like, if he did this, even though that story sounds far fetched, that's way too much power. I don't think T.I. even had that. But anyway, if this goes on, even after he beats it, it still sticks with his name. It's almost like a hoe in middle school. She was a hoe then, she's a beautiful wife now, but they never forget the past. And it's sad because, as you said about the defamation thing, I was listening to him. He's quiet, but he wants to speak out because if he says something, because he has money now, she stands to gain. And that's just dastardly, like, that's low because this man has kids. He has a daughter. So, and he speaks very highly about those things. I don't know, it's just so hard. Like you said, Chris, if it's not substantiated, they should face some type of punishment for that because it's really not cool. But then the sad part that I hate about our culture is as soon as you hear something negative, we're a glutton for it. And we just want to pass the news before somebody even stood up for this man who stood up for so many people. They were ready to bash him. And it looks like, yeah, he does that type of stuff, him and his wife. And that man, that's his wife. But nobody cares about that. Like you said, we as men, the law is innocent until proven guilty. But in a case like that, when a woman sheds some tears and gives a story, a horror story like that, it's guilty until you prove yourself innocent. And that's very, very hard to do. And that I think needs to be checked. But that's what I had to say.
Well, listen, all I had to share is because you get to see stuff behind the scenes in the industry, I've seen it's people out here doing a lot of stuff to get money. I remember back in the let's not be naive. The ATL has its own secret world there. But I remember after a show, we did a show, Club Chocolate, and we waited to the last minute before we try to avoid groupers. We don't know where we're going. We don't let them know what hotel we're going to. We end up going to the W and Perimeter. Went to the W Perimeter. By the time we get there, the whole lobby full with everybody that want to see Lil Wayne, yada yada. So at that point, I learned that chicks just want to get upstairs. Whether you the bodyguard, the bag man, no matter. Chicks just want to get upstairs. And I remember an incident where this chick went upstairs, and this was before the NDA era. She went upstairs, did a few things, and that's what she came to do. The next morning, a woman, she claimed rape, and one of the rappers was arrested. And for her to drop the charges, she was paid $100K. Stuff like that happened all the time. That was the hustle back then. Now she came and did her thing, and the lawyers always advise, hey, it's best to just cut a check, yada, yada, yada. I'm saying that we carry the stories. We don't know what happened, and we ain't defending them. I'm just saying we oftentimes are the person that don't see that. Like you said, ladies, man, now every time they mention them, oh, you remember T.I. who was accused of sexual assault, da, 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 da. Like, man, they look for stuff to dirty us up. And just when we validated, like the brother's starting to speak up more, the brother's getting more proactive, all of a sudden we need to find something to dirty him up with. So I just find it like, let's just think twice before we repeat some of the stuff that's said about other people. You know what I mean? Like you said, the whole middle school, listen, she made mistakes then, so I just on the show we grow, and we do try to say like, hey, let's think twice before we carry on some of the things that we're doing to be better. You know what I mean? We can't keep doing the same things. I want to ask you guys, after watching the Busted Challenge, I down here to my feet. See that? Look at you.
It's a great challenge.
Okay, we'll be right back to you, Xavier. The silhouette challenge that most people can't spell, but the City Girl challenge. After watching all these challenges, man, I gotta ask y'all a question because you'll see all the people saying that women oversexualize, but I'm gonna stick to the question. After watching all of these challenges, could women oversexualizing themselves on social media and by appearance be the same reason men value their sex appeal less? Oh boy, see, that's a good question. But busted challenge, silhouette, but then I'm not gonna go down that road. Mario, did I keep it simple?
I think you did, and I think that's a great question, and I'm gonna answer it directly. Yes, and I think that it's a bunch of bull when women try to be hypocrites, and I'm gonna say hypocrites because of this. We always hear, why do men look at me as a sex object? Why are they over sexualizing us? Why do It's more to me than sex. It's more to me than my body. It's more to me, more to me, more to me, more to me. But we also know that men are visual people. So instead of you going leading first with everything else and staying away, because it's not all women who are doing this, but I think it's a lot of women who are doing it. And we can't go away from the standards that's been set. You can call them double standards, but you can call it whatever you want. Men are judged one way, women are judged one way. That's the world, and that's how it is. We can't change it. It's before us, and it's going to be that way when we leave. So when you do all these things, and then men start to look at you in such a manner, and then you take no fault or accountability and saying, maybe this is why he's looking at me sexual, because I'm only putting out sexual stuff. Or the majority of the stuff I'm putting out is sexual. Or the stuff I'm putting to the front is sexual. Like, that has to play accountability. You have to take some accountability in this and say, maybe I'm playing into the narrative that I want him to look at my sexualness more than I want him to care about my heart, to care about what kind of person I am, to care about how I love him. And I think right now it not only does that, but I think it desensitizes men to a certain degree. I was in the barbershop the other day and I heard two men talking. He was like, man, I have a beautiful wife, but I have to find myself deleting women on social media and going out of groups because he was saying he was liking like 50 to 60 booty pics every day. Just like as soon as you get on your social media without you helping it, it's just naked. And your mind be so desensitized from watching naked, amazing looking women, probably doctored or not. Then you go home and then you find yourself in the same house. And then when your wife walk by with her drawers on, it don't have that same wow factor because you've been looking at butt all day long. And I'm not saying that you don't think she's sexy. I'm not saying she don't still do it for you. But I think that sometimes if you see stuff over and over and over, it can kind of wash it down. So I think to answer your question to it, I think it definitely, whether men or not, it's desensitizing us as men. And I think it's putting the wrong vibe out there to a lot of women, whether they want to say it is or not. And I know, I am saying the wrong things. I know the women who follow our show would never do such a thing, and we should never treat them like that. So here we go. I understand the comments are going to say you can get on any pole you want. You can dance half naked. You can have your titties hanging out all the way to the ground and your thong showing, and we should still look to you like the woman we want to bring home to our mom and take at church. I know. Go ahead, Tootie.
Shame on you, Mario. Shame on you.
How dare you attack them?
Y'all might not understand this, and it's going to be hard for me to admit that. But that's why I'm not really on Facebook no more. That's why I'm really not on Instagram anymore. Even the best of them, I see, listen, I'm just in a place, and I never thought I would be in this place. I am tired. Go back to Round the Way Girl. Let me get the girl with the sweatpants and the little ponytail with the little baby hair slick. Just give me that regular person. God damn it, man. Everybody, even the good ones. I see some of my chicks, 1,000 pictures. Like, I don't know, we're in an era where everybody's just looking for validation. I don't know what it is, man, but damn, I see ass and titties everywhere. And I hate to say the words, but every other IG store. And at one time, I was that guy that I was a good connoisseur of some cheeks and meat. But now I'm exhausted. And it just don't have the same effect on me. And you're right. There's some beautiful women out here. But dang, like everybody in the bathing suit or everybody in the thong, like I used to love it because maybe it was rare. But I'm exhausted. I am so craving the average chick with the sweatpants, the tennis shoes. Like, I'm just exhausted, man. And I really, listen, I'm exhausted. So, listen, to all that do it, I get it. But for me, somebody said I'm lying. What the hell with you? Listen, I'm tired. And as a veteran, I must say that I am tired. Like, give me the Around the Way Girl. I would take that. So, listen, I had more to add. I'm just really taken back, man. I'm just exhausted. Zay.
My brother. I'm gonna have to go with it does desensitize us as men. it's so accessible, and it's crazy because what I actually see it do with the women is the women see the attention, and so they think that that's the way to go. So as Mario said, you have the younger women that are looking and seeing what's going on because their life is the internet, and they're saying, well, I need to wear the shirt with my nipples showing, and it's not gonna stop me from being married. He's gonna still respect me, when it comes time. And just like we just said in the previous segment, we're visual guys. Guys are not that smart, ladies. You see what I'm saying? So what we see is what we think, and we never forget that her nipples were out, and there's no way I can take her to my mom. So it desensitizes us. Also, too, it gives you problems because now when that guy comes home, he's comparing you to what he sees on the internet, and that causes a problem because now you're playing with the self-esteem of the young ladies that are inside the homes. So I'm just being honest, ladies. I always say that women run the world along with money. Everything that guys do, we do for you guys, you beautiful ladies. So you guys can change the narrative if you so choose. But if you don't, I won't be mad.
Well, I think that this is not our fight. I think
It's
that
not.
this has nothing to do with us. This is not our fight. What I'm seeing is men trying to hold themselves accountable for a problem that we didn't create. That's all you're seeing is men trying to hold themselves accountable for a problem that we didn't create. Women, I don't see any women attacking or standing against other women that overly sexualize themselves. I don't see any woman. I don't see women talking down on the stripper. I don't see women talking down on the Hooters girl that's half naked. I don't see women talking down on the porn star. I don't see none of this. I don't see women talking down on the silhouette challenges, the busted challenges. I actually see them championing it on. Actually seeing them cheering it on. And in my mind, I believe that anything, because they don't seem to like toxic masculinity and misogynism, but misogynism and the toxic masculinity fuse these economies, fuse them. But if you're profiting off of toxic masculinity and you profiting off of misogynism, it's
It's good.
perfectly fine. So I tell you what, when I see women start speaking out against overly sexualizing women, the overly sexualization of women, I will speak out against it. But I'm going to wait to see if you ladies are going to actually talk about it, because we're not holding ourselves accountable, because we're not the one taking off our clothes. We're not the one that's doing busted. I've seen professional women do busted challenges. I've
I
seen
love it.
this, like professional. I love to see it.
I
I
love it.
love to see it. But what it does is this: when you start to watch it, it makes you feel like you're this close to sex. Then when you go to the strip club and you get to actually see her and touch her, it makes you feel like you're this close to sex. And eventually what it does is it makes you it desensitizes you to the actual act of sex. And once you do that, once a man does that, once a man devalues that box,
You're in trouble.
oh, all hell gonna break loose, because now you got to present something more than just that box. Now you have to do more. You have to be more. Your personality have to show. Your intelligence have to show. And I'm not talking about book smart. I'm talking about true intelligence, being able to carry conversation, humor, all those things that we have to bring to the table to get women. Now you have to show that. So again, I'm not fighting this fight. When I see women speaking out against the over sexualization of women, and they attack other women about it, then I'll say something. But until then, I'll just sit back, grab my popcorn, and watch.
I love it.
Horace, can I say one thing before you go?
I ain't going nowhere.
Can you put Russia comment back up, please?
Which one is it? It's not our fight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I will not let this slide tonight. See, this is what we're getting into right now. See, I think that right now, as men, we hold each other accountable, and we understand that right now as a collective, that right now we do not get let off the hook that easy. Right now, if any broad person, like right now, the minute a man is sexually abusive to a woman, it's our duty. It's our duty as men to come and speak against that. It's our duty as men to check him. It's our duty as a collective of black men to to better ourselves as a whole to check him. That's our duty. Because if we don't police ourselves, then who else gonna do it? So I would not. So how right now can we feel that we're supposed to do that? If y'all take the road, oh, that's them. That's not us. But most of the time, you want all women to be treated what equally.
Equally.
All women to be what respected. All women want to be what treated like a woman, no matter what. That's what I hear all the time. I hear this all the time. This is what I tell my daughter. This is what I hear from my mom. I hear that all the time. So now we can't say, oh, that's just that kind of woman. Because like Chris said, I don't see just floozies doing these challenges. I see highly respected women doing them. I see mothers doing them. I see young women doing them. I see old women doing them. I see women with multiple kids, women with no kids doing them. Slim women, big women, all kind of women are doing these challenges. So it's not just one little group that we can push to the side and say, "Oh, it's not us, it's just them." No, we're not going to do that.
Not at all. We're not going to do that. No,
How about,
but that's the same thing that happened with the Tory Lanez situation. Tory Lanez got Meg Thee Stallion accused him of that, and you seen rappers, entertainers, even on this show. I said something. I call it sucker shit. We stood up against that. The first thing, like we always do, protect, defend women. We always do it. So at the end of the day, and then it comes to find out a little bit later, it may not be true. It may not. I don't know for sure. But once we heard about it, we went to do what we always do: defend and protect women. So all of a sudden now, oh, it's hands off. It has nothing to do with you guys. No, attack those women. Tell those women that they setting a bad example for other women when they overly sexualize themselves. Tell them that they need to stop. Don't say nothing to us.
you don't have to.
Them.
You ain't gotta attack the women, Chris, but
You
y'all need to teach
That's
them.
what we get attacked. Look at these catty cat club comments all the time. Every time we say something, they got something to say about us, but they never attack them women. Say something to them. Don't say nothing to us.
I'm just saying. I don't think people understand. Like right now, men get bashed every day for they say oversexualizing women. I'm saying I hear this a lot. Like, start looking at her chest. Pick your eyes up. Don't look at that girl butt. Don't do this. Don't look at this. Don't look at this. But then as soon as I go on my internet and on my Instagram, and I have a lot of professional women on my Instagram, I seen 1,000 busted challenges. The busted challenge doesn't show me busting open a book. It doesn't show me busting open a stock. It doesn't show that. It shows you dropping down low and thrusting your butt in a form-fitting outfit of some sort. But then you would want me to, if I come at you like, I'm saying, what's up? Don't be disrespectful.
Yeah.
Not as disrespect. It's just so many mixed signals. I just don't understand. I'm glad I'm out the game.
Well, I will say this. Listen, I'm gonna have a TD Jakes moment, and then I'm gonna have a Hard Times for 2010 moment. Listen, guys, let's right now. I always say that in this era, man, just seems like everybody empty. I've seen a lot of people like, look at me, look at me. You know why? Because they empty inside. Oh, I've met a lot of pretty, gorgeous women, and I talk to them, and it's nothing inside. So the jewelry, the booties, the surgeries, all of that's just a pacifier because it's like I'm empty inside. But I will say, there was once a great poet. He was a mentor of mine. He had a poem called "Why Must I Chase the Cat?" And I will respond to that saying that the cat is in my lap. You don't have to chase it no more. It's right there. It's in 3D. It's in HD. It's on IG Live. It's on Facebook Live. Why must I chase the cat? Through rain, sleet, or snow. Why must I chase the cat? I tell you what, I do not know. But those days are over, man. I think we gave a valid answer to the situation. And I'm pretty sure the comments will be, oh my God, wait a minute. I'm stopping the service. All right. So let's go to someone who showed their natural behind this week on Thursday. It is Ashley Nicole Napier. We will not let you slide. She will be coming to a show near you because I will not forget her comments on that Thursday when she was amening and hallelujah. But we will get to you later on in this show. So I just want to recognize one of our best fans on the timeline.
Cat Club member.
Oh yeah, so she's the treasurer. Oh God. The comments. I'm gonna get to the comments for you guys.
Man,
Everybody has a story. Most people have a sales pitch, and in the land of dating, I would say that there's a lot of cap on this app. A lot of cap on this app. And somebody actually made a comment that's making us revisit this whole topic tonight. And I will go here first. My question is, can you really be single by choice? Because a lot of people love to throw that out there and say, I'm single by choice. But are you? Are you really? Let's examine that because we're going to have some answers and it's going to be going up for rebuttal. So I'm going to go to the ladies, man, first, because I believe that you made the comment single by choice and it was quite controversial at that time. So please speak to the people.
well, I don't think it was very controversial. I think it was very honest. I am single by choice. I choose to be single. I'm not single because I came out here and I attempted to try and shoot my shot at this individual and they told me no. I told myself that there's certain things that I need to get in place as a man before I venture out and take on a woman and go forward. So that's by choice. That's not by force for me. What say you, Horace?
Chris.
Okay. Well, I think that you can be single by choice. I'm getting the echo here. Okay. I think that you can be single by choice. I'm still getting this echo. Everybody mute, please. Okay. So,
The diva.
okay. So, again, I think that you can be single by choice. What I think that being single by choice requires two criteria. One, you have to want to be in a relationship. You have to want to be in a relationship is the first category. The second category, you have to be a chooser and not a selector. So let me explain. By definition of choice, let me read it off. I had it here. Let me get it. Definition of choice: an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. So you have to have two possibilities. That's single and being in a relationship. So you have to want to be in a relationship first for it to be a choice. Okay. Next, you have to be a chooser. A chooser is a person that goes out, holler, get numbers, initiate contact, call, set up dates, keep contact going. That's a chooser. A chooser also is the one that go buy rings and proposes. Those are choosers. If you're a person that believes in I don't chase men, if you're a person that believes in he who finds a wife finds a good thing, so I'm gonna sit back and not do anything, then you are not a chooser. You are simply a selector. Now I'll give you an example. Most recently, we just had a election. Do you believe you chose the president or did you select the president? Because if you chose the president, I could have chose Horace, I could have chose Mario, or I could have chose Zay. I selected what was chosen for me. So when women say that they're single by choice, all they did was didn't select the choices that was given to them. That's all it was. You have to be a chooser. You have to be the predator, not the prey. You have to be a chooser to be able to be single by choice. Otherwise, you're just selecting and you just don't want what's presented to you. But you're not single by choice. Only choosers are single by choice. But that's just my opinion. Horace, what you think?
So that's a
Well,
yeah.
you took all of it away. You took it. Listen, I don't give you this much credit all the time, Chris, but you're on your shit tonight. And listen, I cuss, so the sponsor's out the window tonight. But I will say that you are right. I don't believe. I just, without me going in depth, I just know people use that, and a lot of times it's a lot of cap on that. I think is a lie, is deflection, is a way to avoid dealing with some real issues because I don't believe. No. So I don't even have much to add on that. I'm going to Mario.
Well, I think Chris said some good points, and I think the point that he made is the point that I'm going to say. No, I don't think you can be single by choice unless that you don't want to be that you never want to be in a relationship. Like, let me explain. Right now, I think a lot of people say they're single by choice, just like Chris said, because that they don't have a good selection of people. So they throw out, I'm single by choice, I'm single by choice, I'm single by choice. So I'm agreeing with Chris on the point that you're right. They just don't have a good selection of people. So they're choosing just not to settle. That's what they're choosing, not to settle. But I don't think you're choosing to be single. See, I think that to me, if you was honestly going to choose to be single, that means you would say this. The perfect man or woman comes along in your life when you're ready for it and everything is aligned and you still say, no, I don't want that. I want to be single. If you do that, then you are choosing to be single. If right now, if the perfect man comes along and you hop right on that ship, well, you wasn't never choosing to be single. Actually, what you were doing is just not settling with what the choices that were given to you. Now, some people don't want marriage. Some people don't want relationship. Those are the people that no matter how many good people that align with them, they were going to say no. They're going to say no. They're going to say no. Those are the people who truly are choosing to be single. But the average person who used that phrase is a bold-faced lie, and they know it. They know that right now all they're doing is saying, I haven't found the right person yet, and I don't want this loser, or I don't want this girl, or she's just not the one for me. Because a lot of people who choose to be single meet somebody and then they're married. But I thought it was your choice to be single. See, I don't think so. And I'm agreeing with that a lot. And I seen somebody say, can women be the predator? And I think, yes, once you start getting on your knees asking for a man to marry, then she becomes the chooser. The minute you get down and say, hey, I choose you, will you marry me? Then you have the right to be the chooser. Then you can say, when the perfect man comes along, I'm going to get on my knee and make him my husband. Then you can say, then he can say no, and then he can say, you know what? I'm being single by choice. But I think you only really faced with the choice when it's somebody who you actually see yourself aligned with and you tell them no. But until then, I think you just capping.
Captain Crunch,
Yay!
America, writing in all caps.
Listen, this week we did a show. We had a guest. We had guests that we hosted on a Thursday show. I applaud you guys for working overtime this week and doing a show. We played host to the Chamber Talk Show, and there were 4 doctors who have a podcast, and they came on, and we actually got some great clips from that segment. And I never imagined that we would be able to get the data that we got. We really got some data that really we're going to use. We're going to use for man law. We're going to use for man law purposes. And I really want to play this clip because, to be honest, it kind of goes against everything that people were telling us. So please be patient as I play this clip because it's big and it's going to go right into our next segment, guys.
When I think of a provider, I'm not thinking of finances.
Yeah.
What's that?
Most women, when they say they want a provider, what they're really asking a man to provide is safety, security, and consistency.
You think
We're
that's
looking
most
for
women?
a safe place.
You think that's most
Consistency,
women?
time.
Oh,
It's not linked to finances at all. When a lot of women, and I'm not even just talking about myself, like even I'm pretty sure as the counselors will say, when you really dig into the conversation and the wants of a woman, what she really wants a man to provide is that safe space, a safe space where they can trust their heart, where they can trust their vulnerability, where they can find a friend. It really has nothing to do with finances most of the time, really, with women. And this is not just successful women. I'm telling you, like, even talking to my girlfriends, talking to my friends, when we want a provider, what we want a man to provide is not money.
All right, guys. So let me read off my teleprompter. Since most men been focused on being a provider, and after our conversation with the ladies from the Chamber Talk Show, we observed so many amens and women agreeing that women are not really meaning money when they say provider. Do y'all think it's time to focus more on commitment, consistency, and love over being a provider? Since that, well, we were just presented with this new evidence, and I'm gonna go to Mario first because we have data, we have it live. We just presented it to the world.
Oh, well. I was speechless when I heard that because in so many years of my life, I've heard that if a man doesn't provide, I can do bad by myself. If a man don't come bringing something to the table, he can't sit here. If you it takes two to tango, I could do bad all by my all these colloquialisms I heard so many years of my life about how a man need to bring home the bacon in relationships. Now all of a sudden we get four highly esteemed, very astute
Accomplished.
and accomplished doctors on here that say we don't need a man for money. And I seen the comments light up. I seen applause like somebody had hit a home run in the World Series. And I was appalled. So much appalled that I was speechless. Chorus went to me and I didn't have a word to say because I was astonished that I couldn't believe that it was women actually saying that most, because Chris asked the question, did you believe that most women, not all, most women look at provider as not money? And they said yes. I said, this is amazing. So many men have threw rocks at the chain gang to be a provider. So many men have worked double shifts and worked their fingers to the bone while women have sat home. And I'm not saying that, I'm just saying in the day, so many men have just always just went out there and worked and have been looked at as a great guy. Like my father was a great provider. He worked 2 jobs. No. That couldn't be the example you used. My father was my father was a great provider. We didn't go without nothing. No. Because the same sentence you would say, but he never hugged me. He was never there, but he was a great provider. So if provider's not attached to money, then that means why would you say he was never there? Because provider means he wasn't a great provider if he didn't hug you, because he didn't give you love. He didn't give you a whole bunch of other stuff. Provider means money to 90% of women. That's why right now, 70-80% of divorces are filed by women. The top 5 reasons that women file divorces is, I'm agreeing, commitment and money. Money. Money brings stress. And if a man is not bringing home the bacon, then don't be fooled. A woman is going to lose you. Now, you can listen to people who probably don't need money as much tell you they don't need a man with money and cap, because most of them are not marrying that janitor that they were saying that they were going to date. But listen, men, I'm talking to my fellas. Go get your paper. Because if you don't, you're going to be a yes man and you're not going to have respect. You can be the most loving, caring, rose-giving, feet rubbing guy in America, and you're not going to have no respect because you don't bring home the bacon. Now, I'm going to leave this next on one to you, Chris.
Listen, men, don't believe a word of that shit. Provider means money. When a woman says provider, she means money. I find 2 things really perplexing about that clip. She said most women, when they talk about a provider, they don't mean money. First of all, she said most women. I was under the impression that women does not like generalizations. She just generalized most women. She just spoke for most women. I thought women didn't like generalizations, but I never heard any woman say anything about that. No comments, nothing. Okay. Next, she said, after that show, I had a conversation with women, and they said that, well, it's not all provider. It's a part of it. Money is a part of it. So if money is a part of it, according to women that I've talked to after that show, why did no woman correct her? Because if we say something, we're going to get corrected. All these cat club members in the comments are going to say something to us. So I find it funny that no woman said that it's part of being a provider. Now let's attack that part. It's part of being a provider. Fellas, don't listen to that shit. It is you know what? You're right. It is a part of it, but it's the determining factor of it. If you take the economic part out of it, I guarantee you she won't go around telling nobody that you're a great provider. I guarantee you she won't go to her father and say, hey, Dad, I got me a great provider. Do he pay your rent? No. Do he give you any money? No. He doesn't give me anything economic. She's not going to tell her father that you're a good provider. She's not going to tell her friends that, and she damn sure ain't going to get on the internet and publicly celebrate you as a provider. And if you don't believe me, fellas, how about this? Let me give you an example that you may understand. Let's just say you're on a date with a woman, right? It's going good. You finish the date and you ask her for a nightcap. She comes back to your place. You guys get intimate. She gives you a blowjob. She doesn't let you penetrate. She gives you a blowjob. Now, even though a blowjob is a part of sex, you will not come back and say, I had sex with that woman. You would never, ever say you had sex with that woman. You would, because penetration is the determining factor of sex. So again, fellas, don't listen to that bullshit. Money, when they say provider, they mean money. You go get your bag. You become the best man you possibly can. And that the number one thing is getting your money so you can take care of everything. But at the end of the day, fellas, do not listen to this bullshit, because that woman cannot get you a woman. She can't do nothing about getting you a woman. And any man that believes that and tells you that truth, he can't get you a woman at all. Don't go by what you see. Go by what you've known for your whole life. Do not listen to that bullshit. When a woman says she wants a provider, she is talking about money. If you took the money part away, you wouldn't be a provider. You would be a good ass friend. But that's what I got. What do you think, Horace?
Hey, well, God, thank you for letting me come in with the benediction. Listen, if I don't know nothing else, I know money equals security. Provider. Now, see, one thing about it, I don't always get it right. But now that I'm walking with the Lord, I do know what he commands. And as the commandment was to be the man, is to be the provider. And for me to be a provider, I must say that there's a lot of cap on the app. Well, I was going to say this, guys. When we had these men, women, and we always have these different angles and whatnot, it's amazing how we're so far apart. Because when I watch Kevin Samuels and women say she's looking for a good man, she said she want a good man, right? And the tangibles that we think is a good man or make a good husband, they often are not the first things that come out of lady mouth when she go on Kevin Samuels. When he say, what are you looking for? Oftentimes they're going to say two things. She's going to say about how much money he has to make, right? And we always say that you don't have to make, we always say that when you say a man asks what he's looking for, he never say he's looking for a woman making six figures, right? That's oftentimes what I hear a woman on Kevin Samuels, I can name the clip, say, oh, he has to make six figures, right? Next is going to be, I want him to be this tall. So we like, well, dang, if you want a good man, how are those priorities and you translating that good man? Because those two things are Tyler Perry movie-like, but those aren't the tangibles that you think you're going to be looking for. So do I think that we need to, I do think that those things are important. I still think that provider means money. I think provider, and to the sister, I believe she gave out facts from where she's at, but maybe it's a geographic thing, because I don't encounter those people in this area, and that's a dream. I wish it wasn't true, because there are a lot of great guys who might not be able to financially be this great financial provider. But like you say, your question was, is it time to focus more on commitment, consistency, and love? That's always something that you try to grow into. But over being a provider, as a man, that's the first thing that we have to do. Because for her to feel safe, she has to feel comfortable, knowing that I'm going to provide and take care of her. The lights on. She got a roof over her head. I can't do that, without money. Provide, me being that person, that's going to give the safe space and all that stuff. Yeah, that's part of it, but over a provider, and that question, it was over a provider. So nah, I can't agree. Yes, Chris Leo.
Okay. To go back to the question, do y'all think it's time to focus more on commitment, consistency, and love? Fellas, stop letting women promote a narrative that's untrue. We've always focused on that. That's how we've always been. You can't tell me that women has been dating, getting in relationships, and marrying men that ain't focused on commitment, consistency, and love. How is he able to get you in a relationship unfocused on commitment, consistency, and love? How are you marrying a man that hasn't focused on commitment, consistency, and love? This is a narrative that's pushed that is untrue. We have always done that. That's how you get women. We have always done it. Fellas, don't let women tell you things that absolutely are not true. This is something that we've been doing. I don't know why it's a culture to bash us as if we don't do this, as if we don't protect, as if we don't commit, as if we don't love. We have one guy on top of me that is married. The other guy's divorced. These guys, men are getting married. The question is, why are they not marrying you? That's the question that women have to ask, because men are getting married. Fellas, tell me this. How many men do you actually see dying single? Like, seriously, how much do you see men dying single? I have 4 uncles. These 4 uncles are treacherous. They've done everything under the moon. Every single one of them got a lady, and they're gonna die single. As opposed to what I see with the women community, I see it a lot. A lot of women I see dying single. Men have always committed. Men have always kept wives. Men have always been in relationships. This is a narrative that is untrue. At some point, women have to take accountability. If you're being uncooperative, if it's hard to be with you, then that's on you. Have accountability for it, because we've always married. We've always been in relationships. We've always shown commitment. We've always shown love. This is a false narrative. That's what I got.
I just want to say one thing. I think we're losing track of what we're really asking. We're asking, when you first hear the word provider, what's the first thing come to your mind? We're not saying that you can't be a provider by being committed. We're not saying you can't provide commitment. We're not saying you can't provide love. We're saying when you hear the word provider, what's the first thing come to your mind? And if somebody on this show sit here and tell me when they hear the word provider, the first thing don't come is money, that's when I'll be like, come on, people, what world are we living in? The biggest association with provider is money. All those things you could provide. But when anybody hear provider, the first thing they're going to think of is money. When a woman says she want a provider, they're going to say, okay, she looking for a man who has what? Security. I ain't saying he has to have all the money. He has to provide all the money, but she looking for a man who's what? Financially sound. And when you say that, and it's like, no, that's not it. Why would she doesn't want that. She want this, and this. Then she want money. Come on, y'all. It just sad, because it's gonna be some little brother out here who hears this and say, you know what? I want me a doctor like that. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start being sweeter. I'm gonna start being kinder. I'm gonna start calling her more. And it's okay if I work for Burger King every day. If I cut the grass, if I take out the garbage, it's okay. I can get me a doctor and a beautiful woman too. Let's get out of here.
But
you set him up.
But at the end of the day, how is those men getting them women without showing commitment, without showing consistency? How are they getting in a relationship with these women? How are they marrying these women without showing those qualities? How is it possible? That's my question. I don't understand how can we get women without showing those qualities? How?
See, and there's a lot of caveats. We're not saying that's all you need. It's like every time if you just stick to the fact, we're just saying provider equates with bringing money. I didn't say all you have to do is bring money. Nope, that ain't all you need. Nobody said that's all you need. We're just saying provider, when you hear the word provider, the first thing men should think is money. That's what we're saying. We're not saying if she says she want to provide a man, don't bring nothing else. Nobody said that. But you just throw everything in just to combat the plain and simple truth that when you first hear provider, it don't matter what the dictionary say. I'm asking you, when you hear a woman say to any man out there, when they hear a woman say, hey, I want to provide, they're going to think they're talking about money. But we'll have all these people who give you all these other stuff to say, okay, I understand. Everybody has a different meaning to everything. It's a shame. And that's why so many people out here who confused. It really is. Because if a man don't understand that he need to get his money first for him, then he lost in the sauce.
All right, Mario, you had number 6. You presenting tonight. You taking over as the host as of now.
Yeah. Okay. Being as one of the I'm the one on the show who is married. You know what I'm saying? Who understood what my woman said. Provide. Now I ain't gonna go down that road, but I'm the one on the show who is married, right? So I want to ask my 3 counterparts a serious question for them. A lot of times we talk a lot about what men should do to set themselves up in life to be ahead, right? And we talk about holding. I know Chris always says you don't want to be a sucker dude. You don't want to be a dude who can't provide for yourself. Since we're talking about money, and we understand that that's one of the biggest things. But I think that right now, as we implement love in our life, I understand how much love really means, right? You know what I'm saying? Like above all, to a man, like having somebody who you love and who got your back and who's gonna be there with you for eternity is like one of the biggest feelings in the world, the best feelings in the world, and I think one of the biggest gifts. So I want to know, like to date, what are y'all 3 guys doing to ensure that that part of your life becomes successful too? I know that right now, all 3 of y'all are moving and doing financial ventures. I know y'all are doing the work to get better, working through y'all trauma. But I want to know, like in a serious note, like right now, y'all can answer whatever order y'all want. What are y'all doing to ensure that y'all end up happily with a companion walking off into that sunset? Because I'm assuming that all 3 of y'all want that after I done talked to all y'all before. I want to know what's your steps to bring them out. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all doing to make sure that y'all don't end up, like Chris said, rich and alone?
You want me to go first? I'll go first since I was married. So I'm gonna base it off what I learned. When I first got married, I was not prepared fully. I had love. I wasn't fully prepared. So I would say that I think right now, the biggest thing biblically is a man is supposed to go and prepare a place, right? And that is the biggest thing. I think a man should be in a place where he can receive the responsibilities of having a woman. I think also that a brother, you shouldn't get married if you're not where you want to be in life. If you're not in a place where you want to be in life, then you don't really have time. You still got work to do. You still working. It's like taking off early to get some love. It's all great, but at the end of the week, your check gonna be short. So right now, I always tell right now what I do now. This year, I focus on the business ventures that we put out there because I wanted to build a financial stronghold that will allow me to be in a place where I can actually enjoy life. I can enjoy my relationship. I want to eliminate some of the financial stress that we have. So my biggest thing was making sure that I actually built something that could sustain me, a mate, and be able to enjoy where I can take some trips. Because I see a lot of relationships that are financially strained. Ain't too much love in that relationship because everybody's stressed out or everybody working. And, frustration and stress in a relationship ain't good. You might have some physical exchanges, that take the stress off temporarily, but that ain't what you're together for. You really want to be together for you can maximize that relationship where you grow together, have those intimate moments. But if you don't prepare a place as a man, that really is going to happen. You're going to resent her because you're going to feel like there's some things you want to do. She might not feel like you're adequate enough to make her feel, safe and stress-free. So what I did was this year establish myself to be in a situation where I could take on more and actually enjoy life.
No, I'm saying this. That's why I said, okay, maybe I ain't said the question right. I'm saying this. I know all of y'all are setting yourself up financially. I
Yeah.
know, I know that. That's a given. I talk to y'all all the time. I know all three of y'all right now are securing the bag. I know that. So I understand financially, I can see the growth. So I'm asking you, real back the curtain, what else? Like like the other stuff that she said, see the money part, I know y'all gonna get that. I'm saying, what are you doing to ensure yourself to be the husband that you want to be, that I know all y'all can be? Like what steps are you taking mentally, physically, emotionally, purpose driven? Like what are those steps look like to y'all besides money that y'all gonna be say, you know what? This is my goals too. And in the next couple years, I'm gonna be this kind of man. So when I see the woman I want, I'm gonna be able to hold my chest out and say, shit, I'm there. I did the work. I just want to know what are those steps.
Well, I think I've covered that throughout the year, saying I took time for me. One of the things I did was the triggers. I addressed my triggers and I addressed my traumas. And those were some hurtful things because they do shape our pain, shapes our character. So that was the biggest thing for me, taking this time to evaluate my mental health. And I ain't mean I'm crazy, but just going to face the things that hinder me or kind of affect how, it affects the way I was loving. It was affecting the way I thought about women, relationships. So that's what I did. I took the mental approach. My schedule don't allow me to have the Mario and Chris body, but other than that, no homo. Uh, but that was my biggest thing, man. I removed myself, forgot the physical for a second, and really spiritually was open for correction and had accountability. That's one thing you taught me this year. I just got cussed out the other day because somebody said I didn't share enough on this show. I felt like I did from my perspective. When I talked about my relationship, I talked about me. I didn't talk about the other person because I'm the person that I have to repair. You know what I mean? So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. Go ahead.
So I think I spoke about that doing the work, and I think Ashley made mention of something. So I remember just a quick story. I remember making a prayer for a good, wholesome girl, right? And I didn't do what Tudor said, which was work on myself first. So just like I was down there praying faithfully, God faithfully answered that prayer. I got a wholesome girl. I forgot to pray to receive her because I didn't do the work on myself. I bumbled that play. See, at the end of the day, like you said, we talk about accountability. And as the CEO of Xavier, I have to take accountability for what went wrong on my end. And that's the reason why things didn't work out. But I wasn't ready. So, like you said, I didn't prepare. I wasn't ready. So, the thing that I do now is work on all my vices, all my shortcomings. So, the reason I said I'm single by choice, I stay away from a relationship right now because I do have traumas and I do have shortcomings of ways that we grew up and dealt with women that I know that when I move forward and I do get to that place that God gives me that woman, I don't do the things that I did as a boy when I'm a man. So because I know that I'm not there at that point, I'll shy away from a woman until I can get myself right because I have a daughter. So I have to think about things like if what I'm doing is going to be right or would I like seeing that done to my daughter? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. So I won't sit up here and say that every time I make the right decision. Hence the reason why I'm still at work. But also as far as other traumas and triggers that I had, I don't want to bleed on that person that I said I want to be with for the rest of my life. Let me properly heal and then I can move forward with you the way that you would like and that you need. So those things that those women said, the commitment, the consistency, the love you get, all of those things, the money's gonna come. I'm a damn hustler. It is what it is. So those are the things that I said that I wanted to get on for myself. Therefore, when I have that individual that's with me, they gonna understand me because it's another thing that Chris said. Forget the money. If we can be happy, we can figure the rest of that stuff out. That's what I got. What you got for him, Chris?
Well, honestly, man, I've never worried about that. I've never worried about whether I'm gonna find somebody because about or find love or anything like that. Because I've had women have told me that they love me and that we haven't even been in relationships, just off of just us talking and us being close. Uh, I'm a type of guy that my family loves me. My I've coached basketball. My kids love me. I'm a great my uncle my homeboys. I have homeboys for over 20, 30 years that loves me. So I've never been a lack of love from people or anything like that. And even in my dealings with women, like I've always been charming. I've always been able to keep a smile on a woman's face. I have communication skills, you know, and things like that. So I've never had an issue with that. But what I say is I try to learn from people when I don't know something. So what I learned from Hardy, I take a lot of information from Hardy because I'm close. A lot of the people that I know was married, they're older than me, and most of the people that I know that's married, like homeboys, I wasn't as close to the situation. So with Hardy, I take a lot of the things he said. He said, you work out. You know what I'm saying? Do something about your body. Get yourself physically together. Fix your teeth. Do you know what I'm saying? Do all these things that'll get you in that position. So that, because me personally, I want a really good deal. I take my last name, me personally. I take it very, very seriously, and I want a really, really good deal in return. I feel as though whatever a woman wants from me, and if she has to offer herself faithfully, I think I should get the same thing in return for myself faithfully. Just bare minimum. Whatever you want, whatever a woman requires for her faithfully, I want the same thing for me faithfully. But again, I like I said, I want a really, really, really good deal in return. Now, to be honest and truly transparent, one of the number one problems I've faced in relationship is keeping my wiener in my pants. That's been always the biggest issue with me. I've cheated. I've dealt with multiple women a lot. So what I've done this year, and I know this year is just started, but I really started last year, is what I'm trying to do is try to focus my attention not on the chase of the cat. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to focus my attention on progression, especially financially, but progression. Last year and actually this year also, I've set record lows of sleeping with women. Just to be truly transparent, I've set record lows, and I've told you guys about this, that I haven't even made a lot of attempts of hollering at women. I wanted only assists that come in because I'm trying to really focus myself on keeping my wiener in my pants. So that's always been my problem, because I've never had a shortage of finding decent women, good women that love me, that truly, truly love me. I've never been able to focus on one woman because ever since I started, I've been pretty good with that situation. I've been, pretty decent with the women. So for me personally, I would have to say rule number one is trying to keep my wiener in my pants, working out, fixing the things that I feel that limits me. But other than that, man, I've never, like I said, I never feared for that. Women have always, even if it's in 3-month rendezvous, 2-month rendezvous, women have really told me they love me. Women have really been fond of me. So, that's what I got.
See, I asked this question. Go ahead. Dude.
I was going to say, I was just having a conversation today with somebody, and they thought I was, it seemed like she just froze for a minute. She's like, "What are you looking for?" I said, "I'm looking for intimacy." I said, She said, "What you mean?" I said, right now, I'm asking, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking for some effort, some reciprocity. I want your heart, but I want some intimacy, because intimacy and sex are two different things. And she had never heard that before. But intimacy is big, So
I asked this question because so many times you always hear women say they want a man who do the work. And I talk to all y'all together and separately, and I see that y'all actually are taking strides to become a better person. But as me being a husband right now, I see that y'all taking, whether you know it or not, is taking strides to be a better husband, because it takes so much in a relationship that's that deep. You know what I'm saying? So But I think that y'all well-roundedness and all the work y'all are doing right now can get overshadowed because you don't beat your chest all the time and say, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the work. But rather that, y'all every day focus on not just money, but just a little chip off of becoming a better person. When I seen in myself that I knew I wanted to get married, and I talked to all y'all about this, and then we knew I was like, man, I don't want personally be a bad husband. Like, I don't want to be that. I want to get a wife, and on my end, I want to treat and be the best representation of what her father could have ever dreamed of her walking down the aisle with. That's what I wanted. No matter what she wanted, I wanted to be that person. So I started saying, you're right. Me and Chris talked about this, and I said, well, I want somebody who's going to take care of their body. So know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take care of my body. I want somebody, when we smile on pictures, we look good. So what I did, I got braces and fixed my teeth. But not only than that, I said I had the same problem Chris had. A lot of women like me. I feel like I got a lot of women, so I had a lot to choose from. So you know what I did? I liked a lot of women back. But I had to say, hold up, I need to see for myself, can I be monogamous? Before I sign up for monogamy, let me see if I can do it. Let me see how hard it is. Let me start the steps and saying, you know what? I have to be intentional on being this guy. I can't just think that one day I'm going to wake up and it's going to be, I'm a good husband. I'm a good man. No, I have to be intentional. And I'm saying, I asked y'all that question, and y'all didn't know what I was going to ask y'all. But we talk a lot during the week because of this show. And I hear these things y'all are saying daily. Like, hey, bro, I'm working on this. Hey, bro, I was riding, I was doing this. Hey, I'm doing this. Hey, I'm doing this. And that's what doing the work look like. Like, that's what it looked like. So you don't have, to me, a lot of times people think it's going to see, and I'm not saying you don't have to see a psychologist, going to see a psychologist or crying every show, but every day I'm saying, Tootie, just in regular conversations, be more transparent and step back and take more accountability. I'm seeing Zay step back and say, you know what? Hold up, I can't talk to them. I can't talk to you. I have to work on Zay. So let me get my head together and my emotions out together. I see Chris now, okay, I'm gonna work out every day. Okay, you know what I want? I don't want to holler at a whole bunch of women at a time. So let me slim that back one step at a time. And I just wanted to say, I wanted the world to see what I seen when I talk to y'all or when I hear y'all talk. That's why I asked y'all that question. Because these group of men, right, I might be married, but I'm so happy that I know that I won't be the only one for long. Because you got three people who choosers right here, who doing the work and who walking into the path. And I just want to do that because I wanted the people to see what I see every day. That's all.
Yeah, because I think that at the end of the day, if I want to get married, wait a minute, hold on. Did I just say I wanted to get married?
I thought you said that was decimal clear.
If I want to get married, I have to listen to married men. I have to like that's another thing that you said. You start conversing with married men and picking their brain. So I have to start doing that. Again, you're one of the closest ones that I have. With one of the ones, and you, Terrell. You know, some other marriages didn't work as well with my homeboys, but at the same time,
they served their purpose.
I sit down. I go to Terrell can tell you. I go to his home and sit at that table with him and his wife and watch them work through situations, talk, and it's not always pretty, but I watch them talk through situations, and I learn from that. I listen to you when you say how you conducted yourself to get yourself to that level, and I listen to you say how you are maintaining it. You know what I'm saying? So again, if that's what I want, I have to study that, because I've learned that anything that I have ever set my mind to do, I've done it, and I've been pretty successful in it. So yeah, if that's what I feel like, if anybody once you just set your mind of this is something that you want, you can achieve that. But you have to talk to married men. You have to put effort towards it, and you have to be honest with yourself. Like I say, my number one thing was screwing a bunch of women. Like, I've always been good with that. I've had to say to myself, you know what, this is not something that I really want to do. I'm not saying I'm completely out the game. I ain't hung my jersey up yet. But at the end of the day, it's not something that I'm actively pursuing at the moment.
It's You know what, Chris? It's something that was taught to us by guys that didn't know what they were doing. You understand what I'm saying? We just got mature enough to understand that that ain't the only way. It got to be a better way because we did it and we got tired of it. So therefore, you got to start working to see, all right, I did this already, Lord. What's the next step? You know what I'm saying? And the next challenge, because we are men, is okay, since I did this already and I'm really, really good at that, let me see if I can do this. And when I master that, if the only problem that I'm having is I can't keep my wiener in my pants, but I've mastered, I can just be with this one person. Now we can start entertaining marriage. You can't entertain marriage before you do that because you're just gonna get in there and do the same thing you've always done. It's because it's what you're accustomed to. So I just said that to say this piece. You got it, women. If you're listening, sometimes, like I said, we have our shortcomings. We don't always have it together. You got to be patient. So if you recognize that a king is working on himself, Mario, I'm gonna thank you tonight because I didn't really think that you paid that much attention to what we were saying to recognize that. We just be kind of, I guess, venting or just kind of talking the game planning on what we're gonna do so that we can get better and amongst our peers. Didn't even realize that you were seeing growth or whatever the case, or even that you were going to recognize it. But women, if you have men that are in your life and they're doing these things, get them guys some water and you'll probably get some of that love, consistency, commitment that you're saying that you want out of them guys. Just like that. It's just that simple. But that's my imparting to you, that I'm gonna give. What you do with that knowledge is what you do with it.
All right, Mario, you the host. Close us out.
Yeah. I want to thank y'all for coming tonight, and I just think that that ending of that show was just so important to me because I see so many men who just going through life, and I never thought I'd be this happy. Let me just say that I never thought I'd be this happy being married because I love being single. I loved being single. I enjoyed it. I hung my cleats up because they had no more rub on.
It's pretty good out here.
I enjoyed it, but then when I seen that, I started being around people and seeing the joy. Like Terrell was one of the people. Like Chris saying, I seen it. I seen Terrell like flipping, and then I'm asking him like, bro, why would you do this? Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't understand it then, but now that I see it, how he was telling me, it's just like everything else. The minute I start making money, I call y'all because I want y'all to make money. The minute I go on a fun place to visit, I call y'all. So right now, I'm seeing it, and I'm like, man, I'm so happy because I can't wait till I'm at y'all with. And I appreciate all y'all and everything y'all do, and I appreciate y'all answering my question because y'all didn't have to answer to be transparent. Thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We're gonna go to Chris, then Zay, and then we're gonna let Horace bring it home. This has been another rendition of the Black Super Friends.
Well, like as always, I appreciate you guys giving us your time on Monday, and you guys would make the show go. Yeah, we do this. We like talking to each other, but we also like talking to you guys and even the women that's combative with us. We like that. We want you to continue to be combative. We want you to continue to make the comments. We like the back and forth because that's how you get so well. Honestly, I think that you guys should listen to us a little bit more. But at the end of the day, we love the fact that you would take the time to just to come out here and holler at us and everything like that. So we appreciate that. Now, what I didn't see is Horace give a sponsor tonight. So I decided that I want to give a sponsor. We always like to celebrate Black male excellence on this show. So I want to give a shout out to the small business owner, artist Newbie, who's DeMario's brother with a Newbie taste. And his slogan is, if you don't want your meat chewy, try a Newbie. Newbie taste. Go ahead.
Platinum. Oh man, that's platinum. You know, Papa want to beat you up, right?
Hey, we coming to your birthday party. We coming this week, 2 weekends from now. I wish you would have had it on Valentine's Day. That way I can sneak out and I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? But don't worry about it. Appreciate it anyway, dog. We coming.
Hey man, listen. I definitely love the convo tonight, guys. I know we were a little lengthy. We do appreciate you guys for sticking around with us. Again, as Chris said, the ladies that are combative in the comment section, we don't take it that way. Iron sharpens iron. All we're trying to do is learn from y'all, and we hoping that y'all learning from us. Again, like we always say, you guys can be anywhere in the world. You guys are watching us. thank you for tuning in to the Black Super Friends podcast.
Well, I want to address Ashlyn the Peer. I hope I get an invite to these weddings. Absolutely not. But you can buy me an air fryer for the new spot for my new house. The Forum 2 will be coming within a week or two, so let's celebrate that. We actually did have a sponsor tonight. I just didn't know if I wanted to take his money. The sponsor tonight is Larry's Break World. Don't wait to call my shop when your shit don't stop. Norman's Break World.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Listen. Hey, man, that makes sense. So listen, guys. I like when I could sit back and let somebody else host because it is amazing. But I thought tonight's show was good. But you know, I would actually tell y'all that it's therapy. I always say this show has been therapy for me. I needed this show. Didn't even know I needed a show, but that's what happened. So, you know, and having to deal with Chris more often, I've increased the frequency. Instead of once every 2 weeks seeing Chris, talking to Chris 3 or 4 times out the week will sharpen you. Me and Zay, that relationship is the next one that needs to be on camera because I'd be dang. And the old wise man at the top, Super Mario Sr., always puts things in proper perspective, man. So listen, that was the idea of the show, to put this on film. So we'll actually be doing a live taping in 2 weeks. And I think that's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be amazing. And we actually have another film project that we're going to be doing, which is going to be honest, which is going to be amazing because a lot of people think that they know each other. And let's see what other people think of you. So we thank you for all the comments. We thank you for tuning in.
Is that an adult film?
No, man.
I don't do those no more. That's in my past. We just talked about this horror. That's in my past.
Listen, we're not gonna ask you to remake the movie Saving Ryan's Privates.
I don't even know Ryan.
Getting it on the classes that you made. So join us. Hey, another way. Everybody said they love the show, man. But the comedy is unscripted. Thank y'all for coming out.